Alright, now we're going to continue on with our InDesign brochure lesson, and what we're going to do next is we're going to place images onto our panels, and what we're going to do is we're going to then place them in such a way that we can organize and wrap the text around those images. The first thing that you're going to want to do when you select your images is, of course, you're going to have a topic. And our topic is healthcare or something about health, a health issue, something like that. And I've chosen lung cancer. So what I had to do is go and find images on Google, and we're just going to take some images for our practice for our student brochure, and we're going to put those images and wrap the text around them into our document. So how did I do that? Well, the first thing that I did was I'm going to go ahead and open up Safari and go to Google, go to my internet, go to Google, and then I'm going to select images, and I'm going to type in what I want to find. Now, just because I'm searching for images on lung cancer doesn't mean that every single image has to be about lung cancer. What it has to be about is the overall picture of that health issue. So I can find images about patients, about hospitals, about lung cancer, about smoking. And so why don't we just pick one for hospitals, and I'll find an image for hospitals, and there we go. And so what I may do is look for an image that I like of a hospital that, who knows, might look like it treats cancer. And so I'll just find one, and I like this one, so I would take this one, drag it, make sure it's a JPEG. This little area right here, JPEG, JPG, make sure it's not GIF. If it's a GIF, we don't want it. So we're going to take it, we're going to drag it and drop it onto our desktop, and that's how we're going to select our images. So you may also want to go and search and find images of patients, images of smoking, images of damaged lungs, images of treatment from doctors. So maybe I want this one also, and I take that and drop it onto my desktop. Alright, so I've taken images, found a few that I like, and I'm going to drop them onto the desktop. Now I'm going to take those images and I can place them throughout my document. And I'm just going to drag and drop the images that I want onto my desktop, and I'm not particularly worried about their placement. I'm just going to get them on here and just see what I can find as I'm doing this. So I'm just going to take them and drop them. Not a big deal if I don't place them correctly or get a little bit lost here. I just want to get them onto the document, and I can't be any more subtle or clear about it. That's all I want to do, and try to have a wide variety of images that I can use. Okay, so I've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 images, and so I'm going to use those. So let's go ahead and create these, and I'm going to place my cursor back here, and now I'm going to go ahead and move this just a little bit and place it. So now I can go ahead and select my document, select my images. Now remember, I've got 2 pages here. Okay, if you don't know how to get this window, you simply select the Pages menu here on the right. Okay, and there's other tools here, but I'm only currently concerned with this, these 2 pages. Okay, and right now I'm on page number 2, which would be column number 2, column number 3, column number 4. Is that right? I think that's wrong. It would actually be column number 5, 6, and 1. Alright? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and place a couple of images here. And I'm thinking about the placement of these images for a reason. I want to place them here and get them set so that I can have my document looking nice and neat and ready to go. Alright, so I'm going to take this one and put it there. Now I've got a couple other images that I want to place on page number 1. So I'm actually going to zoom out here. I'm going to hold down the Command key and then my minus key and zoom out so I can see both pages. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my images over to the other document. I can easily see where I want to place these, and we'll just randomly place them here, and I'm getting them just organized for what I might do when I'm ready. So now I've got my images placed, and I really don't need any other images, so let's zoom back in. So I'm going to hold down the Command key and then hit the plus key, and I can zoom back in. Now what I really want to do right now is talk about how to take these images and resize them so that they're nice and large and a little bit different size than what they are now. And then we're going to talk about wrapping text around them. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that. The first thing I have to do when I select an image is take my cursor. Either of the two cursors up here will work. My direct selection cursor is on the right and my selection cursor is on the left. So you can see these two do different things, just like in Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop. My cursors, I have two of them, and they do different things. So I'm going to take my direct selection cursor and select this. Now, if I decide to manipulate this photograph or this image right now, you'll see what happens. It doesn't change the size of the image, it just changes the size of the viewing area. And I don't want to do that. Okay, and I'm going to step back and undo what I just did. And because if I do that, it's not going to resize this image at all. So I have to select the image, and then I have to select the free transform button, and when I do that, that now activates this image. It tells the computer that I want to do something to it, and then I have to select the tool to carry out what I want to do, okay? And that's what you're going to have to do, is carry out what you want to do. Now I can resize this image, and it's going to resize nicely because it's a JPEG, and you can see here that it's not too bad. Okay, I'm going to resize this image, so I've got to select it and get my free transform tool and resize this image. And there we go. And now I will move this down a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to make this one. This is going to be for my cover, so I'm going to make it quite a bit larger. And maybe even, there we go, elongate a little bit. Now it's getting a little pixely here, but we're just going to work with it for now. Now I want to wrap the text around it. As you can see, my image is on top of my text. I can't see the text back here. So how do I fix that? Well, I've got some text buttons, and right up here at the top I've got text wrap buttons. So if you can see these text wrap buttons, you can clearly see that I have a choice that I can make. And so what are the choices? Well, one is to wrap around an object that has shape, like a round circle, a triangle, an octagon shape, or a star shape. So if I want to wrap the text around it, I've got to actually select my image and then select the wrap that I want. And now you can see that the text wraps around this. And you can see up here on this button, the text is going to wrap on the right side and down the left side. And because there's just a little bit of room here, it can fit. I don't like that. I don't want the text to wrap down the sides. Okay? I want it to wrap either above or below. Okay? And there again, I've got another button. It'll wrap down the sides. So I don't want the text to wrap around the image. I want it to be above or below. And there we go. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to wrap the text above or below. Now you can select the text wrap around these if your images are smaller, and we'll do that on the next page. Alright? And above or below. And we don't need text wrap here. Alright, that concludes this portion of the lesson. I'm going to go to part 3 of this lesson, so if you need to learn more about the next lesson, you can. Good luck. Email me if you have any questions, and I will see you in class.